Hi guys, as promised, today I will be leading you through a simple floor to help you building up strength in your upper body for your handstand eventually. So just a reminder, this is not a handstand class, so this is just to build up upper body strength. Okay, for specific drills for handstand, I might be able to do later, but I think for now, this is a very important message for you that to be able to do handstands, there are many factors building up towards being able to do handstands. So it's not just upper body strength, arm strength, but it also has to do with your flexibilities of your hip joints, your wrist joints, and your shoulder joints as well. So there are quite a few prerequisites before you should try to attempt to do inversion exercises. Okay, so otherwise you might have come across some types of injuries, either shoulder injuries or wrist injuries. Okay, so this flow is going to help building up the strength. Okay, but whether you can do handstand or not, this is not addressed for this specific class. Okay, so to begin, we are going to warm up your wrist. Okay, so you might feel a little bit of burn sensation of your forearms and your upper arms as well. So I want you to reach your arms forward here. When you reach for arms forward, I want you to feel like you flex the wrist all the way up like this. And I want you to feel like the energy reaching all the way towards the wall in front of you. From here, you're not going to move your arms. I want you to circle your wrist one direction. We do that 5 times. And then we're going to reverse direction. So you notice my arm stays still. So you should feel your forearms muscles engaged, your tricep and biceps engaged. From here, I want you to turn your wrist. So turn your finger down. Still the same thing. Think about reaching your heels towards the wall in front. And then feel like you want to send the energy through the heels of your hands. You should already start to feel the burn in your arms, okay? Begin to do circle of your wrist, one direction 5 times, and then the other direction 5 times. Okay, and then relax down for a bit. Okay, from here, let's do with your arms out to the side. Same thing, send energy out to your wrist and to micro bend your elbows and reaching long away, like you want to press the wall away from each other. Micro bend and reach. We do 3, exhale 4, exhale 5, exhale 6, exhale 7, exhale 8, exhale 9, exhale 10, and then slowly draw it down. From here, I want you to roll, scapula roll. Okay, so protract, elevation, depression, retraction. So we do this direction 3 times. So we are trying to mobilize your scapula now because if your scapula cannot move in all directions, it's not possible to stabilize your scapula, or your muscles that help support your shoulder joint will not be able to perform the task they are required to do. Then the muscles surrounding the shoulder joints will have to work harder, meaning your rotator cuff. So that could cause some types of impingement on your shoulder joint, especially if you're going to put your body weight on your arms. Good. Now from there, I want you to come onto your knees. I'm just facing you. I want you to feel like start from here, spread your fingertips wide, almost like this is your spider web. Okay, so same sensation as if you doing your warm up. I want you to feel like you spread your fingertips wide, then you press heels of your hands onto the floor and feel like you want to push the floor all the way towards the basement. So it might not look like I'm doing anything, but every time I exhale, I'm practicing press the floor away, almost as if as I press the floor, my chest moving away, but I'm not rounding my back. We're going to do that 5 times. So just start to build up your straight arm strength. 2. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 4. As I do this, I feel like I'm using all the muscle here to pull up everything from my wrist. So I'm not dumping the weight into my wrists or elbows or shoulder joints. I'm just using my muscles to support the joints. Good. And one more time. Okay, relax for a second. So by doing these exercises, you should start to feel some sort of burning in your bicep, tricep, maybe your forearms. I also feel in my pec as well as I push, right? It's just a sensation of contracting these muscles. Okay, now I want you to talk a little bit specific about fingertips. Okay, so in order to be able to balance your handstands, you need to use your fingers to grip the floor to prevent you falling backward. Okay, so I like to begin to learn how to grip the floor by using these fingers. So if I show you, I spread my fingers wide and I feel like I bend my middle joints to drag my fingers in so that most of the weight is in heels here, and the knuckles of my hands as I pull my fingers in. So let's try to do this 10 times. So spread your fingers wide. We go 10, we go 9, we go 8. Good. As you do this, also press heels of your hands down. Send the floor all the way towards the basement. 3, 2 more times, 2, and one last one. Good job. So maybe relax your wrist for a bit. Okay. Another aspect that I want to talk about right away when you start to bear weight on your arms, make sure that your shoulders sensation of external rotation, meaning if you feel like your shoulders are tight and you're like this, you might want to turn your hand slightly. So if you notice, I like to have my index fingers pointing straight rather than my middle finger. So here, it might create a little bit of internal rotation. So we don't want that. So we want my spiral out. So I have my index fingers pointing out. Okay, let's try that exercise again. Push the floor away, grip with your fingers, and imagine you spiral top of the shoulders out. So we do 9, we do 8. You can see the eye of my elbows spiraling forward. 7 and 6. Exhale 5. Exhale 4. Exhale 3. Exhale 2. Exhale 1. Good. Excellent. Now from here, I want to talk a little bit about the position of your scapula in your handstand for specific purpose of your handstand. So I want you to look at my shoulder blades from behind. For biomechanics of your scapular rhythm with your shoulder joint, as your arms move up more than 60 degrees, your scapula start to go into upward rotation and there will be a slight elevation at the end. So this is a biomechanic of your scapula, which is called scapulohumeral rhythm. Okay, so in your handstands, your shoulder will be in full flexion. Your scapula will be upward rotation. And also, you would like to fully elevate your scapula, meaning you want to bring your shoulders all the way towards the ears. So there is no such thing as draw the shoulder blades down when you are going to bear weight in handstand. So we're going to practice that. Okay, so I want you to think about reaching your arms up. Now from here, think about you are pressing against the floor. Press the heels towards the ceiling. Turn your shoulder into external rotation. Let's for now look forward. From here, I want you to raise your shoulder blades all the way up towards the ears. Feels as if you want to squeeze the space here and then relax down. A few more times. Think about squeezing a sponge between your shoulders and the ears and then come back down. Keep going a few times. As you do this, keep your arms straight. You should already start to feel a little bit tight, a little bit sore here. 4, squeeze, relax. So you notice I'm not bending my elbows. And 5, up towards the ears. And 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, 10. Okay, so you should do this 3 sets to start with, warming up your shoulder joint and your scapular stabilizer muscles. Okay, so we talk about elevation of the scapula, upward rotation. Since you know that your shoulder blades resting on your rib cage, okay, so if you have posture like this, hunching forward, and also very rounded shoulder forward like this. When I ask you to do this, it's almost impossible to be in a neutral position and bring your arms by your ears. Okay, so that's one thing that if I have that kind of client, I would probably not continue with handstand exercises right away. I would try to do a lot more mobility drills, try to strengthen his upper back muscles, and also try to move to mobilize his shoulder joints a little bit more before I continue with this class. Okay, so you want to make sure that as you raise your arms, you should be able to bring your arms by your ears without arching your back. So if this happens, I will join another class, which I will film later. We will call it upper back mobility and shoulder joint mobility, because you want to be able to be in this position without arching your upper backs. So let's assume that those who are continuing with this class will be able to do this, fully elevate, and be able to close your rib cage. Okay, we're going to try a drill. So inhale, let's pretend to arch your upper back. Exhale, use your abs, close your ribs. At the same time, think about pressing heels of your hands against the ceilings. Continue to keep your arms straight. Good. Good. Close your ribcage. Good. Now we're going to make it a little bit harder, because when you do your handstand, if you keep your eyes straight, it's impossible to balance. You want to look up. So your eye line is around your thumbs. So as you do this, there's a tendency to arch your back. Try your best to cross the rib cage. And we hold for 5, fully elevated scapula and shoulders, 4 and 3 and 2, arms straight, and 1, and return. So that is the upper body position without bearing weight. So you should be able to do this at least 3 sets, 10 reps, without feeling so tired, because otherwise there is no point going towards full inversion and you're going to bear weight on your upper body. Okay, so assuming that you are able to do those 3 sets, 10 reps, we're going to continue talking about the line of your handstand, or building up strength towards making a straight handstand line. Okay, so you are going to start. So before you start, you can actually rock your wrist forward and back a few times. So start to feel the sensation of bearing weight on your hands. So if you hinge forward, you notice that the degree of wrist flexion is rest. So it's a little bit more severe for your wrist joint. So you should feel like there is no tension here. You start to make sure engage the whole muscles of your arms. External rotation of the shoulder joint. Start to experience the grip of your fingers. Okay, and then maybe turn your palms, turn your fingers out to the side, and then you rock side to side. Stretch your wrist in opposite direction. 3 more times here. Good. And then let's try turn your fingers towards your body. Okay, from here, try to keep your arms straight, lean back. So you should feel the stretch here come from the base of your wrist all the way up to your elbows. Okay, if it's too much, you don't have to lean back so far. Try to keep your heels of your hands on the mat as much as you can. So rock it back and forth a few times. Okay, now from here, I want you to stay wherever you feel that you get a stretch, but it's not so much tension, maybe 70% of the kind of stretch you feel. Then I want you to lift heels of one hand off, bend your elbows slightly down towards the floor so you feel the stretch, maybe further up towards your fingers, and swap to the other side. So keep your elbows down, directly down towards the floor. Try not to spray the elbows out to the side. Maybe one more on each side. Good. And then relax. And then you may want to roll your wrists a few times. Now from here, you're going to try to go into plank, but it's going to be a long, hollow plank position. So you're going to learn right away how to have the correct posture when you are in a handstand. So you can start in a regular plank. Remember, push the floor away from the chest, external rotation, keep your elbows straight. Yeah. And come into plank. Now maybe I want you to have your legs slightly wider than your hips for now, just to get to the right, less heavy on the upper body for now. Now when you come into plank, I want you to think about posteriorly tilt the pelvis, tailbones down towards the heel, pubic bone up towards the chest, and I want you to feel the ribs connecting to ribs, like there's elastic band. Attach ribs to hips and keep this taut. At the same time, push the floor away. You can think about protract your scapula slightly. Okay, keep your hips lower than your shoulders. I want you to walk one hand forward, the other hand forward. Now from here, think about push the floor away, shoulders towards the ears. Good, and look in between your thumbs. Keep your tailbones down, just like you do earlier when you're sitting. Shoulders up towards the ears, upward rotation of the scapula. Shoulders in external rotation. We hold for 5. Shoulders up to the ears. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax for a second. So remember this. You are going to be in that position. Okay, we're going to try one more time. So if that's easy for you, you can walk your arms further out. Okay, so we're going to try. Okay, so your hands further out, come into plank. You can have your legs together or slightly apart. If your legs are apart, it's easier. Okay, tuck your tailbone under. Walk your hands as far as you can hold the position. External rotation of the shoulders. Look in between your thumbs, shoulders up towards the ears. We hold for 10. Exhale 9. Tuck your tailbone under 8. Ribs to hips 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go. Okay, so I want you to practice that. Maybe hold for 10 seconds, 5 sets. Okay, so what you do from the beginning to now, that should be your introduction flow. So if you feel that you are ready for the next class, I will film it in the next class. Thank you for watching.